Well, hello everyone. Um, I have some news, which is that there are some big changes happening to the AIME and the AMC, like US AML qualification system in general. So these changes can be found on the MAA website. So if you go here to MMA.invitationalmathcompetition, like invitationalcompetitions.org. You'll see there's a long list of facts for the AIME and what they're doing to change it. Apparently, there was some cheating last year because, like LLMs can solve AIME and Olympiad questions now. And the AIME is a 3-hour contest. So you can't just really tell students that, they can't use the bathroom or get water in 3 hours. So both the Putnam and the AIME are now broken into 90-minute sections. So on the AIME, you have two 90-minute sections. On the Putnam, it used to be two 3-hour time testing windows, but now it's four 90-minute testing windows. So like, yeah, and now you have, before, every teacher at every school could administer the AMC like slightly differently. Like, maybe like someone like could like work an extra like 30 seconds or a minute after time was called, and the teacher was kind of lenient and just now everything is more uniform because the MAA is hiring Pearson to administer the test. So it's going to be administered in the Pearson Testing Center. Also, your AMC scores now no longer matter for USA JMO qualification. So it says your AIME score, like qualification for the Math Olympiad will be primarily based on AIME scores. So I don't know, maybe there'll be some other test tie-breaking schema, but it seems like your AIME score is all that matters now. So you still need to take the AMC to qualify for AIME, but once you've qualified, your AMC score no longer matters for qualifying for the Olympiad. Um, and also, like for the last like 10 or so years, uh, cutoffs for AIME have been percentage based. So, they said top 2.5% of AMC 10 takers qualify and top 5% of AMC 12 takers qualify. In reality, it was more like 5%-ish for AMC 10 and 10%-ish for AMC 12. So now it's just a hard cutoff. You just need 100, which is basically 100.5 for AMC 10 and 85 for AMC 12. So the lowest possible score for AMC 12 is 85.5. Um, yeah, so now you can have some strategies for taking the AMC 10. Like let's say you're taking the AMC 12. Maybe you could like answer 11 questions right and leave 14 questions blank. So then you would have like, so this is 66. Every point is 6 points. And this is 21.5 or 21. Oh, okay. Yeah, because every blank is 1.5 and every uh this is 6. So this would make you have a score of 87, which would qualify. So uh yeah, I mean obviously you should not just like answer 11 questions and be done. Like you might have made a mistake. So you spend some time checking, but like, even if you think you answered 13 right and you get two wrong, that might still well, okay, actually that might not qualify, but like, you should maybe aim for 13 or 14 correct, and then you still have like a margin. Yeah, so like, if you make a mistake, it's not the biggest deal. So the AIME now costs money to take. You have to pay $85 to take it with Pearson. But if that's an issue, they said that financial aid is available. So there's two things with the testing center. One is that if you don't live near a Pearson testing center, you may have to drive a long way. Two is that it costs money. So they said that they would offer financial aid both for travel to a Pearson testing center and the test itself if needed. So now the AIME is kind of like the SAT where you have to pay a lot of money, but someone like official proctors it, and hopefully they'll like remind everyone to use the bathroom before the test, right before the test, and like all that stuff. Um, so you can't so now you can't take the AIME if you're under 13. I'm not sure, but this might be a Pearson testing center rule. I don't see any reason why the MAA would limit test takers to be above a certain age. Like, yeah, like, so this is one downside. You can't go back to the first part of the test during the second part. So they said you could work on 8 questions in the first half and 7 questions in the second half. I'm not sure if it's going to be the easiest 8 or the first 8 on the test, or if they're going to split it some other way. But now you get a break in the middle for like bathroom and water. And if you leave the room during one of the 90-minute sections, like you can't come back to the room. So they're being very strict on security now. And the reason they said they are making these changes is to continue protecting the integrity of the tests. So, yeah, I mean, okay. But, yeah, so you have to make sure you use the bathroom before the test and during the break, and maybe, drink water in the breaks too, and eat a snack in the breaks or something, or right before the test. Like, I think, I don't think there was any rules against eating during the AIME or USAMO when I took it. I don't know, but so now they say you can't bring anything into the test, not even like a compass and ruler. So I assume that means food as well. So you probably need to like eat before the test. So also there's only one testing window. For this year, it's going to be February 5th through 6th, 2027. Like there's no longer an AIME 2 testing date. So if you're sick during February 6th to 7th, like you have to take the test during that time, even if you're like, so it's just kind of unfortunate. Like, I mean, even before, like the AIME 2 testing was like for snow-in days and things like that, like other school activities. But now there's just one test window. So they didn't say how many times they would offer the test during February 5th to 6th. They just said you have to take the test at a certain time in that window. So, it could be that you could take it like both like on both days probably. And it could be that there's like, so they said that we will not disclose how many versions of the test you can take during this window. So maybe you can take one version on February 5th and a different version on February 6th. And maybe everyone who takes it February 5th has to take it like at the same time. I don't know exactly, and they didn't say. So you can't bring rulers and compasses. Also, it's not on paper anymore. So before, like you would bubble in like, oh, the answer is 960, and you would bubble it in. Now it's 100% electronic. So I imagine like maybe this to protect the integrity of the test. Like now, before proctors had to print out the test, and if somehow it got leaked before, like the whole system, like yeah. So there's been some issues with like uh people leaking the test before the test date. So now that it's 100% electronic, they might be able to counteract that better. So, you know, like it's very unfortunate that you can't take the tests if you are under 13. Um, like that shouldn't be a rule, but if that's how anti-cheating measures have to go with Pearson, I guess like that's just how it is. Um, I and it's kind of interesting that it's broken up into two parts now. Um, like it's unfortunate that you can't go back to the first part of the test during the second part because sometimes you could check your work and find a mistake, but now you have to do all your work checking for the first half during the first half. So like it severely limits how much freedom you have to move between problems during the test. But if that's how like they're going to counteract people cheating with LLMs, then I guess that's just how it is. Uh, it's interesting that they don't consider AMC 10 and 12 scores now for qualification. This means all of your qualification comes from the AIME, which is like a test that I mean you have longer per quest test question to work on each problem. So like the problems can be longer. So all of your qualification comes from problems that are longer or like, that you have more time to work on. So, uh, this means that if you're trying to qualify for USAMO, you don't need to worry about your AMC 12 score or AMC 10 score as like because like so like you don't have to be super fast on the AMC just to qualify for Olympiad, which I think makes a lot of sense. Like like the Olympiads are not like AMC 12 is not indicative of how well you can do on an Olympiad. You can be very good at Olympiads and barely qualify for AIME and barely qualify for USAML every year. You can also be very good at the AMC 12, but not be able to solve any problems on the Olympiad. So the fact that AMC 12 was used as a qualification mechanism in the first place was kind of weird. It's like I don't know if any other country does that, has a test like the AMC 12, where it's like very speed and computational based. So I think this is good for the Olympiad scene overall, but I mean, like you know, it, it, it yeah, like if you could do well, yeah. So, mm, yeah, so hopefully they make the financial aid stuff very clear on how you can apply because I don't like the fact that it costs money. Um, like $85 is a lot and not everyone can afford that. So hopefully it will be very clear when you get invited, if you get invited, like how you can apply for aid if you need it. Um, yeah, so yeah, let me know your thoughts on what you think of these changes. Uh, my changes are probably not going to change, but um, well, I mean, who knows? Like Uh, like on the one hand, a 3 hour test is like very long. Um, the SAT, at least when I took it, I don't know if it's still this way, but when I took it, like you had breaks like every probably hour and a half. Like you would take like 3 sections. Like when I took it, there were 10 sections, and you would take like sections 1 through 3, have a break, sections 4 through 6, and have a break. And then like I don't remember exactly, but like you had a break every 1.5 hours. So um yeah. So uh it makes sense in some ways to have a official break in the middle. Um, and I think it's good that it's more uniform. Yeah. Like every test proctor will proctor it in the exact same way. So, like sometimes like in the past, proctors have been volunteers, and not every proctor read all the rules carefully. So like maybe some proctors didn't know you could use graph paper and like compass or something. And like so like there could have been problems with administration. So now those problems will hopefully go away. But it comes at a cost, which is that the test costs money. And it's not cheap. So yeah. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. And hopefully this year of AMC's like goes well.